Run an e-commerce store? Good. What a time to be alive. Want more sales through your e-commerce store? Good. You're in the right place. Buckle up, because in this video, I'm going to give you 15 ways to increase e-commerce sales. 15? Yes. Whilst e-commerce might appear simple to outsiders, for anyone who's spent a good amount of time building an e-commerce store or analyzing e-commerce stores, you'll appreciate that the difference between the real high-performing e-commerce stores and the rest can be massive. At our digital marketing agency, Exposure Ninja, we've consulted with and analysed thousands of e-commerce stores, and we've worked with a fair few ourselves as well, taking some of our clients from complete obscurity to multi-million-pound industry dominance through e-commerce. And what this has meant is that we've picked up a few tips and tricks along the way about how to grow an e-commerce store. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing 15 of them which you can apply whatever stage of your journey you're at to increase your e-commerce sales. We're going to go through these really quickly because there is 15. I've included examples as well to show you how they work in real life. Now, we've broken up these tips into two types. So the first 4 tips are about how to understand what's actually going on with your website. How are people using your site? Where are they getting stuck? Where are they falling over? Then tips 5 to 15 are the tweaks, the tricks, the hacks that you can implement to get the improvement in results that you're really looking for. Okay, 15 tips. That's a lot to get through. Are you ready? Cue the high energy, fast-paced music. Let's do this. First e-commerce sales increasing tip is to understand what's happening with your checkout process and your conversion flow through your website. Go into Google Analytics, underneath conversions, e-commerce, shopping behavior. As long as you've got it set up, you'll see a chart that looks like this. Now, you can use this to identify where people are falling out in your flow, and depending on the performance of your store, you might see some opportunities for improvement. I'm going to show you 2 contrasting stores with very different stories with very different opportunities for improvement. This first one you can see here, relatively high percentage of people that come onto the site see a product, right? So they're landing on a product page. This store very much focuses on getting people to the product pages very quickly, but we have a fairly big drop off from seeing the product to actually adding it to the cart. If I contrast it with this site, we see this site has much smaller percentage of sessions turning into product views. So lots of people are coming onto the site, not finding the product that they want because it's a much larger site with many more product categories, but we can see that more of these sessions are ending in add to basket, and we even have people coming back into the site through the add to basket stage. The opportunity for this site is looking at the product pages to make sure that we're doing everything that we possibly can to get people adding to basket. E-commerce sales increase tip number 2, add live chat to your site. I don't want a massive team of support people answering all the stupid questions that people ask through e-commerce live chat. Bear with me. Live chat helps you do 2 things. Firstly, it helps you convert more of your sales because if people get stuck, they ask a question and you can make the sale. But the second thing it does is it identifies the conversion blockers. It identifies the holes that people are falling down on your site so that you can then add that information to the page or fix whatever it is. If you notice that you're getting the same questions coming over and over again about delivery times or whatever, you can make sure that's on the page so people don't have to then ask you. Tip number 3 is to add heat mapping to your site. Now, heat mapping is awesome because it allows you to see how people are browsing through your site, where they're going on different pages, what they're clicking on, and it also shows you how far they're scrolling down a page. This data is really useful if you're looking at layout, if you're analyzing how people are using your checkout pages, so you can see exactly what they're doing. Here's an example of a thank you page that we've been optimizing, and what we did is we've added a viral sharing plugin to this thank you page because once someone has converted, we then want to be able to use them to share it with their friends and with their social connections. So we added this giveaway with a viral sharing plugin, and what we found is that people were interested in one particular product included in the giveaway way more than anything else. So what this has allowed us to do is think about, do we want to test a version of this page which focuses just on this product that people really want, because that seems to be distracting them and they're clicking on that more than they're clicking on the share plugins. The penultimate tip in our tracking section is to spend time looking through user recordings. Again, you can use Hotjar for this, or you can go on a site like User Testing and record people actually using your website. There is nothing more insightful than watching real people using your website, scrolling around, seeing where they go on different pages. In this sped up recording on this e-commerce site, we're watching someone go through the product selection process. They've added a product to their basket. They then go through to the checkout. They start filling in their contact details. They're having a look to see how they can pay. They seem to be happy with that. They then go back to continue editing their billing information. but they get stuck on the section which asks them to choose their state. This business only ships to the US, they're in Australia. Now that is a conversion blocker. Now obviously that's a really basic example, but it just goes to show some of the stuff that you can pick up through watching user tests and watching user recordings, which can really help you tighten up the user experience and make sure people are getting what they need to on your site. Okay, so now we are into the tips, the tricks, the hacks that can help you get more sales from your website's traffic. So the first e-commerce tweak is a benefits bar. We talk a lot about benefits bars here at Exposure Ninja, and on the Misguided site we can see a benefits bar in full flow. In fact, we've kind of got 3 separate benefits bars going on at this moment. So the benefits bar can cover things like USPs, why people should use you rather than competitors, or it can just cover the simple questions that people need answering. Things like delivery terms, sale, coupon stuff, sign up for a newsletter type thing, that kind of thing. Here we can see that Misguided aren't using their benefits bar as USPs. Misguided customers are pretty switched on to what Misguided offers, so instead they're just using it to state the basics, the basic rules of engagement. But they've then got a second benefits bar underneath with Christmas delivery terms, and then they've got another kind of scrolling banner which is acting as a benefits bar, which is all about the latest sale that they're offering. Now the great thing about a benefits bar is that this information is visible on every single page of the site. So if somebody comes to your site through a shopping ad, or if someone comes through social media, they're gonna see those benefits. So it's a great way of getting that information straight into people's heads wherever they come through. So the next way to increase e-commerce sales is product photography. For this tip, we're gonna run a bit of a virtual quiz. I'm gonna show you the same product on 2 websites, and I want you to think about which one you would buy it from. Okay, website number 1. The Danish design pet teepee. Now what do you notice about product photography on this site? It sucks. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Dreadful. You can't see the product. It's really, really small. Now, here's the thing. That same product is on the John Lewis website with beautiful product photography. Yes, it could be better. It could show installation instructions. It could show it from multiple angles. This actually comes with a really lovely cushion. We have 3 for our cats and they love it, so I can definitely vouch for it. They could do a better job of selling this, but compared to this, which is just complete rubbish, it's amazing. Now, which of these 2 sites would you buy from? Bear in mind that you're going to save £15 from buying it from this site, but at the same time it feels like a bit of a risk because you can't even see what you're buying. So in this case, they probably don't need to be £15 cheaper. They're actually better at describing their dispatch times than John Lewis are, so potentially they could sustain a higher price if they just had decent photography. It's not hard. Now people complain about this. I've got loads of products, I can't do photographs for all of them. That's fine, you don't need to do photographs for all of them, just the ones that you want to sell. This is the basics of e-commerce. If you can't get good product photography, either get it yourself or from your distributor, it's going to be very, very difficult. Tip number 7 is to take things to another level still and get some product video on the site. This is particularly important for higher ticket items. Here we are on the Andertons website. Andertons do a fantastic job of this. They have product videos for loads of their different products. And what you can see here is you can see people actually using the product. This is a 38-minute video describing this one guitar. And the number of guitars they have in stock is like 155 trillion different guitars. So again, the lazy e-commerce owners are going to be whining, thinking, I can't be bothered to make a video. But here's the thing, if you're running a shop and someone comes into the shop and starts talking to you about a product, you could be talking to them for half an hour anyway. So maybe just film that and then you only have to do the talking once. What we're really trying to do here, as with the photos, is replicate the in-person experience. We want to make buying from our e-commerce store as similar as possible to buying from a physical store, and allowing people to get a really good feeling for the product that we're asking them to buy is a really, really important part of that. Tip number 8 is a bit of a dual tip. Firstly, it's to use the logos of the payment processors that you accept, and then secondly, it's to accept as many different payment options as possible. So here we are on the ASOS site, and you can see above the footer on their site, they have their social icons, but they also have all of the different cards and payment processors that they accept, including PayPal, Apple Pay. Now, really important that you include as many of the Apple Pay, Google Pay, Shop Pay, PayPal type one-click payment options as possible, because they make it really quick for people to check out. Particularly if a lot of your customers aren't repeat business and they don't already have an account on your site, you just want to make it as quick as possible for people to fly through your checkout process. It's always difficult when an e-commerce site forces everyone to go through just one payment option, like PayPal, for example, because some people think that if they don't have a PayPal account, they can't buy from your store. Of course, we ninjas know that you can accept a credit card through a PayPal account, but the general unwashed masses don't necessarily know this, and they might see a PayPal logo if that's the only way that you accept payment, and they're like, I don't have a PayPal account, and then you'll notice a reduced conversion rate. So accept as many payment options as you possibly can, but make it easy for people to use. You don't want them to have to fight through pages and pages of different options. Tip number 9 is to include cross-sells and upsells. Here I am resisting temptation on the Jessup's website. Look what happens when I click add this to basket. Up comes a notification that's saying it's gone into my basket, but also with an extremely relevant cross-sale, this item here, with a one-click add to basket. Now, yes, they could improve this by making this more clearly a button, but what they don't want to do is take my eye too far away from the checkout now because they're ready for me to purchase. So think about how you can match different products on your store together and how you can show related products to people who've just put something in their cart. And a quick tip here is an incorrect implementation of this will be to show someone a different product in the same category. Let's say I've just put this camera lens in my bag and then I'm shown another camera lens, which might be for a different camera altogether, or it might be a conflicting kind of competing camera lens to this one. And then all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh, am I buying the right one? And I get stuck in the decision process again. I've just made the decision to put it in my cart, so show me a related product, which isn't going to reduce the likelihood of me purchasing or add some kind of seeds of doubt about the choice that I've made. That's a subtle but important consideration. Now we're going to stay on the Jessup's website for a second for tip number 10, which is to add a phone number. I know what you might be thinking. I don't want people calling me at all times of the day or night trying to buy. That's why I have an e-commerce store. I hear you. Who dares to call me? But here's the thing, having a phone number on your site builds credibility, particularly if you're an unknown e-commerce store or you're selling something that has a perceived risk attached to it. So what Jessup's does here is they have a sales line which you can click to call. Other stores will just have the phone number displayed in the header. By having it as an icon, it's small, it's there, it's not going to draw too much attention, but it's there if people need it. So I'm a big fan of this implementation. Tip number 11, fix the issues that come up in those phone calls. So listen back to the sales recordings, understand the questions that people are asking your sales team, and whether it's questions about a particular product or the buying process or your store in general, answering those on your website can prevent other people from asking those same questions, or worse, just dropping out of your conversion funnel altogether. There ain't no feedback that beat user feedback. Tip number 12, incentivize your users to purchase. Now this is particularly important for businesses that are selling a product which can be bought on other stores. What can you offer people to nudge them over to buying from you rather than someone else? Here we are on the Watches of Switzerland site, which is a beautifully laid out e-commerce store that does a very good job of matching the in-person experience of buying a watch, which I think does a very good job of communicating quality and luxury, but with the conversion element in play. What you'll notice here is that if you're shopping for an AP Royal Oak watch, then you're also being offered a complimentary watch winder. Now here's the thing, if you're spending 37k on a watch winder that may cost a few £100s is no big deal. You also see this tactic in use loads in the cosmetics space. So you'll buy a particular makeup product and you'll be offered free samples. These free samples cost almost nothing. They're going to lead to follow-up purchases later on, all that type of stuff, but they're really exciting to get. It activates that part of our brain that we're really excited to get the bonus. So even if the thing that you're offering people is fairly minimal, fairly inconsequential, the fact that you're offering people an added incentive really gets them excited. Now this complimentary watch winder might be absolute rubbish. It might be branded Watches of Switzerland. It might be horrendous. But the fact that you're getting that versus nothing when you'd buy the same thing for the same price somewhere else is going to motivate you to buy from this rather than their competitors. Now, before I give you the final 3 tips of this video, I just wanted to offer you some free help improving your e-commerce sales. Our digital marketing agency, Exposure Ninja, helps e-commerce businesses generate more sales through their website. We do this by improving the performance of their website, but also by driving traffic to their site through SEO, content marketing, paid ads, and social media. Now, we'd like to offer you some free help to grow your business over the next 12 months. All you need to do is go to exposureninja.com and click the big button that says says request my free marketing review. What will happen when you request this free review is we'll ask you a few questions about your business in a short questionnaire. We'll ask for a bit of information about your current digital marketing and your goals over the next 12 months. What will happen then is one of our expert marketing team will analyze your site. They'll have a look at the digital marketing that you've been doing previously. They'll also have a look at what your competitors are doing, and then they'll record you a 15-minute video with recommendations about how to increase the sales through your store. This service is completely free. There's no obligation to use our digital marketing services. There's no catch at all. It's just really genuinely awesome. Seriously, it's amazing. Did I mention it's amazing? So go to exposureninja.com to request your review today. And one more thing before we go into our final 3 tips. If you've enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. If you've already subscribed, what an excellent person you are. I wonder who else in your contacts might benefit from a cheeky share. Or maybe you fancy sharing this video across all of your social platforms at the same time. I can guarantee that all of these social platforms will then give you an algorithmic visibility boost, which will mean 100% organic reach. Please share it. We love making these videos. We love the response that we get from them. If you can share them, that'd be awesome. Okay, final 3 e-commerce growth tips. Tip number 13 is actually a bit of a sneaky jewel tip, and this is to communicate delivery terms right at the point where people are about to purchase. So here we are on takeawaypackaging.co.uk, and you can see here, we've got this little countdown that says order before 1% for free next day delivery. So this has 2 benefits. Firstly, it tells you the delivery terms. Secondly, with this cortisol-inducing countdown timer, we're incentivized. There's a bit of a scarcity thing. Even if we don't need it next day, we see this countdown thing and the compliant part of our brain is like, oh, I must do it quickly. This kind of tool can be a fantastic way of increasing your conversion rate from product pages. Tip number 14 is to increase your page load time. Now, I'm not going to show you anything for this because you know that going on a slow website really annoys you and it's going to increase your chances of bouncing off. I'm not going to give you all the stats about the percentage of people that expect a website to load in 3 seconds or under, but if your site is slow to load, that can be a real issue and a big conversion blocker. So, a couple of tools that you can use. Caching. You can use a content delivery system like Cloudflare to serve up a local version of your site to visitors around the world, and you can just make sure that you strip out as much of the code that's bloating your site load as possible. And welcome to one of the crowning achievements of your career so far. You have made it to tip number 15 of 15. That is split pay. Offering split pay options is the new craze. You could argue that there's a massive unsustainable debt bubble that's going to burst all over everyone's faces and take down the entire Western world. But if you're going to survive that bubble bursting, you're going to need a healthy business. And in order to do that, you might want to offer split payment options to your buyers. Services like Lay-Buy, ClearPay, Klarna can really increase conversion rates because we're seeing people split increasingly smaller and smaller payments. Here we can see on the boohoo.com site, which by the way uses so many of the principles we've covered today, we can see that they're advertising these on product pages because they know it's going to increase add to carts. And by the way, other things that they've done while we're here, because it is a masterclass. Look, we've got the use of discounts, we've got help with sizing, we've got delivery information and a countdown timer, right where we'd expect to see it. We've got voucher codes to incentivize us through this product page. We've got great quality product photography, all native to Boohoo, taken by Boohoo, looks really good, all their products match. We've got a link to find something similar. We've got a link to similar products. And here's a sign of the importance they place on these split payment options is that they're even showing the split payment options in the basket notification. And they're showing all the credit card logos. Whew, feel like you need a drink after that one. So I hope you found this video useful, or if not, then I hope you've at least enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're into digital marketing, we release a new video every single week. And remember that you can request your free website and marketing review. If you're looking for some professional help to grow your business, then go to exposureninja.com and request your free marketing review. We'll ask you a few questions about your business, and one of our expert team will then record you a 15-minute video showing you the low-hanging fruit and the opportunities that your business has to increase not only the amount of traffic that you're getting to your site, but how you're converting it as well. Until next time, see you soon.